Welcome back to the weekly news roundup, and today we're talking about the AI bubble is upon us to the point where most people don't even know what is real anymore. I mean, this is like really truly living in the Matrix time. I'd be expecting, Morpheus to show up and hand you a couple pills. Which one do you want? The red pill or the blue pill? No. Don't take both of them. Don't take both of them. Dude, don't do that. All right. But one of them, you kind of wake up and you go on back down into, into the dreamland. And one of them, you're like, whoa, whole world is here. And the challenge we have right now is we live in this purely online world. Even our attempts to get offline sometimes get driven by being forced back to go online in some instances. Like you can't even reserve something at a national park anymore without having this stupid app, which is particularly annoying. That's not entirely true. You can do it on the computer as well. But like there were days when you'd go into the place and you'd go into the kiosk, you'd park your vehicle, you walk up to the kiosk, you'd fill the thing out, throw a check in there. It'd take like weeks to get cash, but you'd do that, you'd pay for it, and everything would be good. But now it's like everything's got to be reserved through recreation.gov. The only saving grace about recreation.gov, by the way, it does not require Google Play services. You can run that on a de-Googled phone. Bonus. So they actually did a good job on the app. I have to say, they did a decent job on the app. But you can't even go out and touch the federal property anymore without that. So the challenge is we have this type of world going on. AI is now creeping in, and it's becoming harder and harder to tell what is real and what is not, to the point where now it's, video is getting so convincing to deep fake that it becomes very difficult to know exactly exactly what we need to do for getting all that video done right. I mean, it's hard. It's hard in our world. So Malwarebytes did a report. They did this report. They published it just this month. And face value, how AI is reshaping trust, identity, and scams. And so a counterfeit world is coming online. I say it's already here. And so dead internet theory, nearly everything is AI based now. Everything's bots. Everything's AI now. It's getting to the point now that you can't even get out and even do a decent job without AI cramming itself down your throat. So they looked at a number of different breakdowns. 9 in 10 cannot tell what is real from AI anymore. So we're living in a world that you watch a video, you have a hard time determining, is this AI or is this not? 88% says it's becoming harder to tell what content is genuinely real. 85% said it can be hard to tell scams apart from the real thing. This is a particular interesting one because nearly everything, even government services now want you to do everything online and everything through these services. And then they're like, call in to the center and talk to the AI and all this kind of stuff. Yet every guide about, even the government guides about how to protect yourself from AI scams, talk to the real person. I can't find the real person. Okay, that's a problem. So 84% say convincing video evidence no longer feels like proof. So, apparently I had referenced in a previous segment the case out of Texas and Carmelo Anthony case, and the video of the situation that happened from a security surveillance on the other end of the field. They never released it to the public. Even to this day, I don't think it's been released yet. But they kept on saying that it's not useful. It doesn't tell a story. And the few people that they let to watch reported on it basically gaslit the world to say, it's useless video. It turns out, though, that if you actually followed the trial and the testimony, that video evidence was brought up everywhere. Apparently, it was deeply significant in what actually happened. So we're now living in a world where you can't even point to video evidence in a major trial anymore. In fact, one of the short stories I wrote, I can't remember. Yes, it is the one in Code Red. If you get my book, Code Red, tlm.li/Code Red, it is a collection of short stories, science fiction short stories. One of those stories is a court trial which hinges on video evidence, which is manipulated by AI. And so I called it again. Called it again. Because it's becoming so convincing that it's one thing, when it's, I've always, talk about AI slop and the kitten and the robot, obviously, the cat and the robot's an AI video. You watch it humorously, but it's, it's AI. You shouldn't do that. That encourages data centers. It enriches all these big tech companies. But even more dangerous are the deep faked videos, which create real life type scenarios to push any form of agenda, whether it's a political agenda, a social agenda, whatever else. And we have to be careful about that video no longer becomes the case. So in a world where everything is online and everybody is online, and now videos can just be created to push whatever narrative you want, how do we possibly trust anything that is on the internet? And that is a good question. So looking at these different things, I can't tell anymore. The curve is swelling. In 2025, only 66% says scams are hard to spot. 2026, 85% say or same thing. So chapter 2 is the AI scam revolution. 50% have encountered an AI-driven scam. I mean, what do you mean by encountered? You mean falling for it? Or do you mean like seen one? Because I mean, I see about 30 of them a day. Look at my inbox. It's all a bunch of AI scams. So how do they arrive? Personalized scam message. How do they get all this personalized information? Has so much information about you. Data brokers. We have to ban the data brokers. Data brokers are feeding the data into the AI systems that make scams more compelling. We must ban data brokers. 22% people say they've been misled by AI generated photos or product reviews. Amazon, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, maybe last week. Amazon is now starting to just do AI images of things you're searching for. Like, why? 19% said they had their identity manipulated by AI in the last 12 months. So AI is manipulating you there. And 16%, that is higher than I thought it would be. 16% received a voice cloned call from someone they knew. That is a frightening number. Like, we've reported on those voice call scams. I had no idea it's that high at 16%. That's insane. It's to the point where it's like, if you hear the voicemail, the voice calling you on through like Facebook or Discord or something, like, it's not me because I'm not on this crap. Exposure is highest among Gen Z, 67%, and then it kind of goes down from there. 1 in 3 Gen Z is the most exposed. 1 in 3 Gen Z adults have experienced AI-fueled identity abuse in the past year. We talked about these in reports with AI-generated deep fake illegal content. That literally the stuff is fake. It's just made up, but it's so convincing. They're texting people because, the data brokers gave them their information. And they're using this to simply extort people. That happens. So the shape of identity harm, 19% of all adults have experienced one of these below, 11% being impersonated online. 10% had images and videos manipulated by AI without permission. 10% had someone threaten to release AI-generated explicit content, and 10% had AI-generated explicit content without permission. Chapter 3 is pulling back, not gearing up. 65% are stepping outside. Okay, there you go. As trust erodes due to AI threats, more than 3 in 5 are reacting by retreating, using social media less, removing old content, and posting less about themselves and their children. This is a good thing. This is a good reaction, a good kickback. We should not be, particularly kids, keep your kids off the internet. Like, and in this context, I'm meaning, don't be that parent taking pictures of your kids and putting those pictures on the internet. Don't do that. That certainly is a problem. Also, yes, take steps to keep your kids off the internet. I had somebody respond to comment, it's just not practical to do that these days. It is actually. It is. And we have to do that. We have to teach them how to be safe online, and that's the case. So why reasons are people sharing less online? They're worried about deep fakes and manipulations. I even consider, should we go to like a faceless type channel? And my supporters by and large said no. I'm on the internet. Oh, Lord help me. Concerned content can be used for scams and impersonations. want more in-person connection, and worried about scams and fraud generally. So a lot of people are concerned. Fear doesn't translate to action. 81% are worried about having their family's likeness stolen, but only 18% have created a code word. 67% are worried about having their voice cloned, but only 19% have turned off voicemail recordings. And I'd say, having a YouTube channel is a problematic thing. Maybe I should start using a voice simulator or do something crazy with my voice. Maybe I should just do that. Yes, I will start messing up the AI now. All right. 77% worry about harm to their reputation, but only 18% have done any data removal requests. 74% are worried their photos are being misused. However, 14% have watermarked their photos. So there's a lot of challenges. 69% would pay more to talk to a human, which means now that you're going to have to start paying more money to already egregiously charging companies for the privilege of talking to a real person. And that's a problem. Let's see. Chapter 4, AI is redefining our moral standards. 1 in 3 daily AI users say it's okay to generate non-consensual. Which is certainly a problem, of course. And that's, Thoreau was right about this technology. It gives us an improved means to reach our deteriorating ends, and we have to recognize that. What people now think is okay: 17% creating non-consensual explicit images for personal use, 17% being in a romantic relationship with an AI chatbot, wonderful, 18% creating explicit images of people they don't know, and 32% imitating somebody's voice and or appearance for personal use. So basically creating AI videos of people they know for personal use. And then, of course, the various tools. They fear experiencing deepfakes, yet it's okay to use AI to deepfake, basically. It's just another tool, man. And so AI itself is getting us to the point where we don't know what is real and what is fake anymore. And that is a serious problem because at the same time, Malwarebytes also reports this week, Americans lost nearly $900 million to AI-powered scams, according to the FBI. So the losses, which stem from 22,364 AI-related complaints, these figures represent only the reported losses, which may well be the tip of the iceberg. The main drivers behind the rise in AI-powered scams are voice cloning, deepfake images and video, and AI-generated scripts. All right. So one of their biggest concerns is government impersonation scams, which have evolved from crude IRS gift card phone calls into sophisticated multi-channel operations combining spoofed caller ID, stolen agency logos, and AI-generated audio and video of public officials. Not to mention that one case almost 2 decades ago now, where the IRS scammer, because of data brokers, by the way, knew the actual address of the person, and they actually swatted the people they were trying to scam. You can look that one up. It happened to like Denver or Colorado Springs or something. It was like 15, 20 years ago. Kind of an impressive case. But scams are massively increasing, and this is causing a serious problem with us, that the scamming is getting better by AI, yet other parts of our society are not necessarily getting better because of AI, because it still hallucinates too much. Use it in medicine or in law or in serious strategic portions of business. You can use it in marketing and SEO. In fact, it's overused in marketing and SEO, in fact. But the one enterprise which has been greatly bolstered by AI has been fraud. And that's a problem. And I think maybe the tech CEOs that are getting massively rich off this stuff, maybe they should have a fraud tax to them. Not that I'm a huge fan of adding more taxes. I'm really not. But if their tools keep on being added, same thing with Facebook. If their tools keep on being utilized, maybe it's about time that they have to start paying. If Meta's systems were used in a scam, guess what? Meta gets to make it right to the person who was scammed. And if Meta would like that money back, Meta can go after the scammer. They got the resources. They're crazy evil psychos. They know who they are. They probably have a team of hitmen back there. I mean, I don't know. But if Sam Altman's ChatGPT is utilized to do a massive phishing campaign that results in $7 billion in losses. I think OpenAI needs to pay $7 billion to the people who were scammed. And if OpenAI would like their money back, maybe OpenAI can go after the scammers who use their platform. This isn't too unreasonable, is it? It's not too unlogical, is it? Let me know your thoughts about all that in the comments down below.